I recognize you for 3 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman Tucano, and thank you, Commander Roche, and everything that the veterans do for all of us, because West Virginia, as you know, is a highly populated veteran state. I like to say that we're one of the most patriotic states in the nation, but we really, really appreciate the services that you all give and watching over them. Sir, our brave service members deploy all around the world, often in harsh conditions, as you know. History has shown that even after surviving combat or hazardous duty, veterans come home having been exposed to toxicants that end up leading to long-term health issues. While we need to do everything we can to minimize exposure in the first place, there's no excuse for us delaying care and benefits for those exposed, which is why the Senator Sullivan and I have reintroduced the S437, the Veterans Burns Pits Exposure Act of 2021. Sir, we sure could use a letter of support on that. We would hope that you all would use the weight of all of the veterans to support this piece of legislation because it's so needed.
We are on board and would be happy to provide you with that.
Thank you, sir. And also, as you know, this is to all the witnesses there. As you know, the VA is making concerted efforts to expand telehealth initiatives and options. On one hand, I'm encouraged to see the VA provide more options for appointments, especially for veterans in West Virginia who have to travel some of our famously beautiful rural roads, mountainous roads, as we deal with COVID-19. However, I do have some concerns for two reasons. For one, telehealth appointments require broadband speeds of at least 25 megabytes per second. And that's just not there for many West Virginians in rural areas. And two, veterans are now having to adapt to a new online travel reimbursement process, which is a tough transition for some of our older veterans or those with limited access to broadband. So, in your assessment, what can the VA do to ensure telehealth is available to all veterans who prefer it? And how can we help our older veterans stay connected with the resources they expect, especially with travel?
I'd turn it over to Mr. Gallucci to answer that. He's been working that pretty diligently.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Comrade Commander-in-Chief, and thank you, Senator. This is a major issue that the VFW has been concerned about for quite some time. It's absolutely correct that once you're outside the DC metro area, you start to hit some broadband deserts. I'm very concerned. The VFW is very concerned that this is it has the opportunity, it has the potential to become a health equity issue, especially when you're talking about access to beneficiary travel. This is a concern that was recently brought up to us from our service officers in Arkansas, and well, to be frank, from all around the country. And what we found is that the veterans who may need it the most are the least likely to be able to take advantage of the new online system. We can't be processing electronic claims in favor of claims that are processed, I guess, the old way, paper-based claims. We're very concerned that that's happening. And although online resources, telehealth, are a great tool, they're absolutely no supplement, especially for a veterans population that is generally older than the civilian population, more likely to live in a rural area that doesn't have broadband access. So you're going to need to find innovative ways to address that. We think one of them is a model like Project Atlas, which utilizes community hubs like VFW posts, where if veterans don't have broadband access in their homes, they can go to a hub to find broadband access to take advantage of those resources. The sites that we have up and running are very innovative. It's more than just like a phone consultation that you would have with a provider. They have things like blood pressure cuffs. They can check your vitals. They can check your body temperature and do much more via that video conference.
I think my chairman's getting a little bit antsy there, and I don't blame him. I'm going over our time, but we'd like to follow up with you in my office. And again, I want to thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Very sorry you'll back my time. And I want to thank and God bless every veteran for all they do and what they've done for us.